Who is to blame if an artificial intelligence makes an erroneous diagnosis in the medical field?
Our ethical dilemma revolves around the next hypothetical case. Imagine a patient, John, who enters a hospital where an artificial intelligence system is used to diagnose heart diseases. The system issues an erroneous diagnosis of a heart attack, and the doctor, trusting in the technology, prescribes unnecessary invasive treatment. It is later discovered that the model was trained with outdated data and that the developer failed to implement crucial updates.
Firstly, we must remember that AI, as advanced as it may be, is not an independent party. As such, it cannot be held accountable for its accidents. So, in this case, there are two parties that can be blamed. The developer for releasing the erroneous AI, or the doctor for fully trusting the AI and not questioning its diagnosis.
Back to our case, to what extent is the developer responsible for John's case? We must notice that the developer is responsible unto the failure of the correct update of the software, as well as the general lack of care onto the accuracy and the general quality of the AI. However, we can also notice that the developer is not responsible onto the general effectiveness of the same AI because they are not responsible for the erroneous use of the same because the doctor was using it as a way of getting to a final resolution instead of a tool to get to John's correct diagnosis.
The Greek philosopher Aristotle may give an answer to this problematic. He gives two conditions when attributing responsibility. The first, known as a control condition, refers to whether or not you have done the action per se. In this case, the developers were the ones that in fact used outdated information in the programming of the AI. But what about the epistemic condition? The epistemic condition refers whether or not you were aware of your actions. In this case, the developers may or may not have been aware of their actions. So, unless they were having malicious intentions, we cannot fully blame the developers.
However, the responsibility shouldn't lie fully on the developer because healthcare professionals are the ones who decided to use the AI as an authority and not as a tool. If the professionals decided to approach with critical usage the AI as a way to meet the ends instead of an ending, they would have used the AI correctly. If the doctors were to use an AI's results, they should have at least questioned them with previous general data and at least verify them with additional examining or cross-referencing the patient's previous clinical data. If they weren't to do this, then they would have taken some responsibility onto the usage of the AI's results and their erroneous diagnosis.
Let's use Aristotle's model to demonstrate this. Based on control condition, the doctors are the ones that in fact take action. They decide treatment based on AI's diagnosis. But in epistemic condition, unless having malicious intentions, they wouldn't have done the necessary invasive treatment if they knew the AI diagnosis was wrong. So we can fully blame neither the doctor nor the developer.
To fully realize the benefits of AI implemented in the medical field, we need to know who is responsible when a mistake is made, since not knowing can compromise the patient's trust and put doctors in difficult positions as the one in John's case. Therefore, we must balance the accountability and developers must ensure that the AI training process is done correctly. And the government also needs to ensure that doctors are trained to use the AI as tools rather than definite authorities. Equally, doctors must ensure with the developers that the AI is always on its best state and equipped with the most recent and correct medical information. A way to ensure this is for the doctors to approve the information being introduced in the AI and to test it by coming up with a diagnosis, which would later be discussed upon by a group of doctors and specialists on the subject.